Hello folks and welcome back to the channel. Today we're at the Tokyo 600 race, the World Touring Cars. We're in the Hurracan LP 610 415. Bit of a strange one, this one. We've just finished the Audi. We're coming on to another four-wheel drive car. We have exactly the same brake horsepower but very few modifications. This car actually comes to the race in a default setup probably some 29 pp over. If you just go and buy the car like I had to, because I didn't own this one, believe it or not, and it starts off at 629 pp. You actually add certain race parts and it brings it down. You go and put a high wing on it, you add the centre diff, you put the manual transmission on, it actually brings the pp down. And then we've not put a lot on. So let's have a look at the actual setup. There it is, 599.98 pp, and it's on sports hards. Normal suspension, everything default because you can't change it anyway. Differential fully customizable, but we've left it standard. The only thing we've changed is we've moved the diff setting from 3070 to 3565. Downforce has been tuned, so we're on absolutely minimal minimal front downforce, rear downforce absolute maximum. We've got a front lip, side skirts, no rear valance, high rear wing with 20 end caps, wheels standard, you can't widen them or do anything, there as it comes. The ECU is normal, ballast 5 at the position 3 to the rear, power restrictor is on 100, so we've not had to take any power off at all, we've just added weight and moved it backwards. Transmission comes in at 330 manual, but we've pushed it up one just so we can get the rev out on the straights. There is nothing else added except for racing discs and racing pads. Brake controllers fitted. We've got increased body rigidity. We've got no clutch, no flywheel, nothing, no prop shaft. So it's pretty much a standard car except for brakes. There isn't much more, but would you expect that of a Lamborghini that you just bought from a dealership anyway? You could expect to take it around a racetrack, couldn't you? I would have thought so. Assists, traction control on, default ABS, nothing else on. Controller settings, exactly the same as normal, folks. Force feedback 5, force feedback sensitivity 6. Not a lot to say. Should we take this thing to the track? Here she goes. So, 3565, power on fuel map 1. She's automatically changed up through the gears and she's going for it. Fuel is looking dodgy. Brake balance in the middle. Traction control where it is. Let's get it back on the fuel map. Let's watch it. We're rattling through the field. I believe we're already past our teammate already. Up into 7th gear, 177 as we come out of the tunnel. There's hassle there between Mr. Blasen and Mr. Suswillow. They're coming together already. And we're up into 5th place. Let's get on those brakes. Sliding about a little bit in the wet, but we can manage that. The ABS is working overtime. We're going to take Mr. Frog around the outside. I think we've got the pace to do that. Coming in 5th gear, just ease off the throttle a bit. The fuel's coming back to us. It was a bit low. Turn the front end in. That's pretty nice. It feels pretty good on the brakes. Down to 4th gear through the tunnel. Up behind Mr. Hizal. So he'll be our next victim. At the full throttle down. He's going to move out the way as we come out in front of him. There we go. 4th gear. Thread the needle through there. Mr. Cookerman, you're next. We just brushed the wall, just a fraction. Pretty much a standard car this, and she's a mover. Up into 2nd place. We take a hit from Mr. Cookerman, which was unfriendly. We've lost the front end. Oversteering. But we're only 2.5 seconds behind Mr. Gallo. And we've got almost 6 laps of fuel and we haven't made any effort to really fuel save. Braking just after the 200. 1st gear into the turn. Mr. Gallo is there. We're going to try and turn the car quickly. All 4 wheels are powered and steering. Oh my lord, we overcorrected there. No help aids on though, apart from the traction control, which we need. If you have too much power to the rear wheels, this thing becomes lively. But I'm not doing this car down. It is an absolute mover. Look where it is in terms of gallo. 0 to no mods at all. A 223, that's a couple of seconds quicker than your average fastest car. So this is definitely a top fiver in overall pace on a fuel tank. Absolutely, definitely. 5 laps of fuel left. We're doing okay. 200 mile an hour. We're up with gallo. We're going to brake just on the spot. We're going to let him outbrake us because he's got the capability. We've got standard Lamborghini suspension, which, if it's anything by this game goes by, it isn't much great stuff. Because you've got street suspension, you've got adjustable suspension. I'm surprised this doesn't have it. Front lip, I believe. Just going to back off the gas a little bit because the front end's sliding. We saved it. Just going to let Mr. Gallo go a fraction because I was overcooking those front tyres. They've got loads of grip in them, but it slides. If we had the customizable suspension, I'm 100% sure this car would be just more slightly planted going through corners. But it's an extra 10 pp, which I didn't want to counteract with weight or reduction of power, so we've just clipped the fence there. That was a bit unfortunate. I was looking for the gap up the inside of Mr. Gallo, but it didn't open. We're just going to apply pressure to him. See if we can force our way past, but we're all over his back door. He's going to have to let us go. We've got the straight line speed. So that's lap 2 into the lead. It's been a long time since we've been in a car like that, isn't it? You watch him come down our inside. He doesn't do it. He gives us the room. I think Mr. Swillow is really quite close as well. Mr. Gallo is off the pace today. And we're 8.215 seconds up. So this should be a 213 maybe? A 213 is not too shabby. It's a 212. That's actually more realistic. That's better. That's more reflective of the pace. We've just come through there with 4.1 laps of fuel remaining. We're 2 seconds ahead of Gallo, and it's increasing. We're just going to hit the brakes just on point. There we go. Just going to casually coast into the corner. Second gear, back up to third. Let's get it round this corner, back on the power. This will be a pleasurable grind, I'm telling you that now. We have to focus on a bit of fuel saving, but we do it properly. It's not going to interfere with the drive at all. Oh, we've lost it. We've lost it out to the left. We didn't clip the walls though, which is good. She just goes a little bit. 2.4 seconds in the lead. Not expecting to put in a faster lap here. Tyre wear is minimal. Expect to see a bit more wear on these tyres normally, especially at this speed. 1.5 seconds up, that's a 210 on lap 3. That is well comparable to the Audi. Exactly the same brake horsepower as well. Costs 300,000 credits, this car, and that is an absolute bargain if you ask me for a car of this caliber. I think it would actually work better in a 700 pp race if it took all the mods, but I think most of the cars would from this race. We're not curtailing its performance at all by dropping it to 600 pp, but you can't give it the mods. It needs the mods to really stretch its legs and prove itself. I'm really loath to apply the weight reduction and the power just to add weight back and take power off. It's kind of frustrating we have to do that. A 210.582. So I'm really happy that this car moves along at the pace it does with the mods we've put on. 3 laps of fuel left. We're gonna have to probably fuel save just a little bit. There I am, not trying to drop the car too low in the gears. We didn't go down to second. That'll help with the fuel saving. It's a pretty decent lap on the third lap of race, that 2:10.582. That's pretty good. Just got to watch this next corner. We kind of overshot it a little bit. 0.3 quicker at that point, which we know we can get faster at because we blew that corner, didn't we? That's all right. Half a second quicker. A 2:09 before the pit stops will really give Mr. Gallo, who seems to be on an off day today. He could be in for a serious thrashing. He's being chased hard by Suswillow. But I think Suswillow's chasing us down, to be honest. Absolute blinding acceleration. That's almost a 2:08. Wow, a 2:08 before the pit stop will be something, won't it? It's a 2:09.047. Holy heck, this could be the fastest car out there yet. Well, we've done a 2:06, haven't we? So maybe not. But for this level of power, whoa, it's not about, it handles so well, such a good car. And it continues to put in purple sectors, even though we're just not really just charging. We are just rolling the laps, being consistent with speed. We're almost 10 seconds in the lead ahead of Gallo, and he's going to pit on this lap. We're going to pit on the next lap. Yeah, just a little bit down. I thought we'd saved a little bit there. Just hesitated to come on the gas as we came out the tunnel. I think we've got the fastest lap of the race already. I don't think Gallo's going to challenge for that. Maybe Suswillow or Cookerman might give it a shot, but Gallo's going to feel a broken man today. Back in, half a second in, and that's just through concentrating and being precise underneath the tunnel. That was getting the right line through the fast right-hander. We probably scrubbed off a little bit of time there, but this should see us in the 2:08s before the break, which would be tremendous. Going to brake just at the 180, just before the 175. Going to slow it down quickly. There we go. Need to get it turned and get in a straight line before we power it down. There we go. Looks like we've got the fuel to get to the halfway line. We're a quarter of a second in. That's definitely a 2:08. Definitely. This has got to be the finest unmodified variant of any car we've had so far. Every car we've had so far has had the suspension, had the clutch, had the filter, everything. This is the first one not to. This is our in lap, so 11.5 seconds ahead of Gallo as he's going to take to the pits, and there he goes. That's 12.8 seconds at this point. Suswillow behind us at 13 seconds. No personal best to be set on this lap, so we're just going to take it to the end, drive it into the pits and go from there. So Gallo drops down off the table. Mirzano comes past. So here's the leader then. That's us. Suswillow in second. Cookerman in third. We're quarter of a second up. Hizal in fourth. Fraga in fifth. Beauvoir sixth. Blazan seventh. Mirzano eighth. And Mr. Suswillow is chasing us down, but we're still gaining on him. Gained a tenth just through that complex, another tenth through that right-hander, 2 more tenths down the straight. Just using the brakes. The tyres are squealing, but they're damn fine tyres. There's no need to change tyres. Absolutely none whatsoever. These tyres will go all the way to the end. That saves a couple of seconds. 16 seconds in the lead as we go to the pit. So all these boys are going to fly past us. We're not going to take tyres. We're just going to take 6 laps of fuel. And will this be purple as we go across this line as we set a new standard? There it is, 3/4 of a second. That's almost a 2:07. Almost. As we rev the beans out of it, we've got plenty of fuel left. We're not taking tyres. We are just going to take the fuel to 6.2 laps if we can get it. The car looks yellow underneath those strip lights, doesn't it? But it's not. She's a lime green monster. Called her a she again. Suswillow came in the pits at the same time as us, so did Cookabun. It's all changed in this race. 6.2 laps of fuel, we're away. So we're going to come out in pole. We are going to come out. We haven't lost the lead. It's an absolutely strange turn of events. Fraga and Hizal have chosen not to pit, but Beauvoir has gone in. That's Takeda that's gone in. So Blazen's come past. Where is Gallo? There he is, down there in 7th place. We're a bit quick into the corner, but we're feeling okay. Just finding our value with a heavy weight of fuel on these older tyres. These tyres are not going to wear at all. No need to adjust the brake balance. Everything is perfectly good with the tyre wear. Fastest lap, a 2:08.822. I think there's a 2:07 in this. As this fuel weight scrubs off, we've got nobody in front of us. We did expect to be chasing somebody down for these few laps. We expected to be running around about 7th place. But we've got a 6-second lead over Mr. Hizal, who hasn't pitted. You can actually be really precise with this car. It'll just turn in. You can deliver the power without lifting your foot. The actual traction control sorts that out. .1 seconds in the lead as we come into the final corner. Let's get this thing turned. So this is an untimed lap. It's not one that we can set a fastest lap at, but we're 10 seconds in the lead. It's Gallo who will be our next real competition. So we're going to fly past the pits. There's no need for us to stop now. Everybody else should be going to the pits, and then we're going to see what the final race position is. So as they come up, they should all dive in. We're 193 miles an hour coming out the tunnel. There they go. Hizal, Fraga, Blazan will go in next. There he is. Cookabun hasn't gone in, neither's Gallo, because Gallo's already pitted. But Cookabun is still on it, so 17 seconds ahead. So that's Suswillow's pitted already. So Gallo's going to pit on probably the end of lap 9. It depends. He's having a bit of an off race. He's changed his strategy. So are some other people to try and counteract the supreme sort of speed of this Lamborghini here. We're threading the needle quite well still. The tyres haven't given up on us. It's very precise. I just need to do a little bit of soaring of the wheel as we enter, just to find that grip level. But it's great, we're 0.03 up already on this fuel weight, so that's quite a surprise really. I found out how to turn the car into the corners and get it to hug the apex. It's doing alright. Braking on the 175. That'll probably be a bit late with a... Actually, we're probably spot on with lesser fuel weight as the car's starting to dance. Half a second up with a little bit of hesitation on the fastest lap. So it's definitely on this 207. I think this could make quite a close race. Probably against the GTR, you know, it won't beat it, but it'd be a close race. So that's just outside the time. We scrubbed that as we were accelerating out of final corner, but that tells us what we're capable of. We've got the fuel. So let's go. 19, almost, we are now 20 seconds in the lead. We're going to brake just as the wheels touch that white line. Not going to second, we're going to keep it in third. Brake really long and deep. Make sure the car turns. Tyres are in great condition. .21 seconds in the lead. We lead Gallo over Cookabun, Swillow in fourth, Yamanaka in fifth, Hizal in sixth, Fraga in seventh, Beauvoir in eighth. There's absolutely no reason why that fellow should be running this car so far down the field. He's got a bad tune. He needs to talk to his team, because this is an absolute mover. We've been a bit scrappy this lap, but we're good. Now the ABS was just managing that for me as I pushed the brake to the floor. I don't always push the brake to the very bottom. We're up, so that's going to be a fastest lap if we get to the line quicker. We're 24 seconds in the lead ahead of Gallo. We're expecting him to go to the pits and release the true contender, Mr. Cookabun. So we've got 3 laps to go. There's a 2:08.7. That's the fastest lap of the race. We're on 50% of fuel, which we are going to burn away in the next 3 laps, which is absolutely spot on. It's not the fastest car in the pack. It doesn't quite reach 205 mile an hour, I don't think. But it's got us to there, the fastest. We were 0.075 ahead of the purple sector, the fastest time there previously. Mr. Gallo's gone to the pit, so we do now have almost a 30-second lead over the car in second place, which is Mr. Cookabun. Let's see how we come across this one. A third of a second, absolutely spot on a third. All the threes, 0.333. As we just washed out a little bit into the corner there. We got the power down though, 30.3 seconds in the lead. Up into fifth, nice and early. Give the car a run out the corner. Try and hug that white line as long as you can. 0.757. That'll be a 2:07 if we can take this all the way to the end. Don't be shy, little Lamborghini. Let's see if it can do it. First gear for the final corner. Short shifted up to second. 0.617. This won't be a 2:07 then. This will be a 2:08.1 by the looks of it. 33 seconds in the lead over Kukabun, followed by Sir Swillow. Gallo in 4th after his pit stop. Fraga 5th, Yamanaka 6th, Boubois 7th, Hizal 8th. There's the 2:08.150 that we predicted. Can we now slip that 2:07 in? Tyres looking great, fuel's looking on point. 33% left to fuel. It's all rhyming numbers, isn't it? It's all falling perfectly. 0.017 up. Did you see the time there? That was 17.070 and we were 0.017 up. All the 17s. Happy days. Good set of numbers. Everything's panning out. To do 4 laps in the 2:08, that is pretty good. 35 seconds in the lead. I'm now looking for Mr. Gentry up front. I'm looking to chase him down. I'm looking to be on a par with him before the end of this lap if we can make it. We're half a second down. We've just got to smooth things out here. See if we can get things back together. I think the front tyres are now complaining. You can hear them scrubbing as Mr. Yamanaka goes to the pits. I saw Mr. Gentry on the right hand side there as we came into that corner, and he is not that far ahead of us. There he is. So we're looking to put a lap in him with 39 seconds ahead. We've got perfectly the right amount of fuel. This is going to be a 2:08.3, a 2:08.4, something like that. But it's another lap in the 2:08s, which is tremendous. A 2:08.7, happy days. There's Mr. Gentry. Let's chase him down. We really don't want him to hold us up as we go through those corners at the end. Let's see if we can get him coming down off the off-ramp. Much quicker into the first turn this time as we come past that timing gate with the purple flag. 0.56 up. This is where we want to take Mr. Gentry. We don't want to be behind him through the twisty section. He's getting the blues, but he's actually going to block the racing line on us. That's going to prevent us getting the fastest lap. We've found the gap. We slipped through it. We're 10th down. Let's see if we can make up with that. 4th gear. Let's drive it in. Get on the power as quick as we can. Try and use a lift of the throttle to make it turn the corner. See if we can get it back to purple. We're sliding. Yeah, back on the throttle. See if we can get it back to purple by the next timing gate. Not sure we will. We're ever so close. I'm so desperate to get that 2:07, but I don't think we're going to get it. I think I'm pushing the car too hard. We'll know as we come across that final flag whether we've got a chance or not. We're not going to get any draft off the car in front. He is actually just halfway through the corner as we come in extremely quickly. Let's get it turned round. Let's get the power down. Short shift again. Well, that wasn't quite a short shift. We're up. There's a chance that this could be a 2:07. It would be absolutely epic. We've got the fuel. It could be a 2:08.050 though, or an 0:36. What's it gonna be? Fastest lap of the race? A 2:07.98 something. It looks absolutely on the money. That is a really nice car to drive, folks. We've left it so long through this program to find a perfectly natural, great car. That is epic motor. What a stunner. A 26.37, so not quite the fastest car we've had, but for no tuning, Oh my. A 207.951, so faster than I thought we'd made it, and we'd lapped Mr. Gentry. Absolutely tip-top motor that. Do we get it? Disappointing, that one slip where we hit the curb. Doesn't get it, so it gets one negative on our first drive out, but it ticks absolutely every box. With a better driver, you'd get that. Well, it's up to you what to find out what you think about that, folks. We've just got the 29 million now in our chase for the dollars, but it's up to you. You go and try that. Make the tune as you see fit. Use what I've got, then try and build on it. Add more power, add more parts. I'm sure you're all understanding and learning how I do the tune. Now you can find perfectly reasonable, drivable cars that you're going to enjoy the grind with. All the best, folks. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you on the next one. All the best. Take care.